Welcome to Wise Owl Conversations, the podcast where we talk about life, work, and the many ways that our brains are wired. I'm your host, Amy Milnes, otherwise known as the Wise Owl Coach, and I'm so glad that you're here joining us on this journey. This is a space for honest, relaxed conversations with all of my different guests where we talk about navigating life as a neurodivergent person or supporting someone who is. My intention is that through sharing these stories and through our shared experiences, that wherever you're tuning in from, that you feel a little more seen, a little more understood, and a little less alone. So, Kareena, thank you so much for being here with me, for carving out time in your weekend to share this space with me and to share your journey with me. It's an absolute honor and a privilege to have you here. I've written stuff here, just some notes, even though I know you and I know our relationship, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So we first met on the drum and bass, or through the drum and bass scene in Perth. I feel like it was like a different lifetime ago, really. I feel like it was about 18 or 19 years ago. Does that sound right to
Is
you?
that right? Is that real?
Maybe
When you say it
7,
like that, it must be.
because I've been with Brad 16
In my
years this year.
mind, it's always like, "Oh, yeah, 10 years ago." Everything's like 10 years ago, and then you
Well,
actually look at it.
COVID was 7 years ago. Like, it feels like
What?
it was only, I
Oh,
know,
okay,
when it
wow,
was
okay.
6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Okay,
Anyway,
so yeah,
but yeah,
I must have been like 20, so that is actually, yeah, exactly 18 years ago.
we old. We old, girl.
No, no,
Um,
no, not yet, not yet.
no, well, I am, you're not. So you're an absolute legend. I've always loved you. I've always loved our vibe. We've always clicked. We've always
Yeah,
just been that same
yeah, it
energy.
is.
We've always been able to keep up with each other. Convo wise, we've been able to talk about absolutely anything. Where we're
Mhm.
always the last ones on the dance floor, just absolutely nailing it. And you shared with me, like, as you were going through the process of late diagnosed ADHD.
Yeah.
But before we jump into that, I just also wanted to share you're a mum of 2 beautiful girls. And how
Yeah.
how many years ago did you relocate to Canada to meet the love of your life, Seb?
Um, 2018. So yeah,
Oh,
what we now,
wow.
yeah, 7, I think, yeah, 7 years ago. Yeah, yeah.
Far out.
Mhm.
That's gone quick too,
Yeah.
hasn't it? So you
Yeah.
relocated from Perth to were you still in
No,
Perth
I
at
was
the
on the
time?
East Coast.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
that's
on
right,
the
you'd
East Coast.
relocated from Perth already. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in the East Coast for, like, for 6 years or something like that, I
No.
think, and then, yeah, I moved to Canada I was in Sydney in the end, and then moved from Sydney to Canada, yeah.
You know why I thought it was straight from Perth? Because I was FIFOing in that period, I think. You left and moved to East Coast, so we didn't see each other
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
was
that's
working
right, yeah, it
away.
wasn't at the same time, yeah, yeah.
That's why I was like, "Oh, no, she moved straight from Perth," but no, there was a chunk of time where I
Yeah.
just,
We
lost touch
both
with
just went,
everyone.
"Okay,
Yeah.
bye." Yeah.
Yeah. Far out, time flies. And then, yeah, you met Seb over there, which is really, really cool. And then
Yeah.
career-wise, honestly, I think you've had one of the most coolest stories with your career, I think, of met most other people that I know. Like, the job that you had for such a big chunk of the time that we've known each other.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like I want you to say it in your words because I feel like I'm gonna get it wrong, but lighting technician, rigger,
Yeah,
is that right?
that's exactly what it's called, like, the technical term, yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yay!
Good job.
I mean, I know the rigger part because Brad's a rigger, so that makes it
Oh,
easy.
okay, right,
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah, but
mostly no, to be honest, mostly lighting tech.
yeah.
I did have my rigging qualifications as well, but I sort of specialized in lighting for concerts, and live events. It wasn't always concerts. It could be like, yeah, like festivals, or they're like corporate stuff, which I really didn't enjoy corporate stuff, but like I liked all the live music. Anything to do with cool music is what really drove me in my career.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots of traveling with that, and just like going with the wind. I never really had a schedule, or like a routine, or like it was any day of the week, nighttime, daytime, weekends. Like it was just a big mixed match of whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
living out of
must
a suitcase for a really long time as well. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that must have taken it like, yes, for our ADHD brains, well, now we know that ADHD brains. Yes,
Mhm.
for the, like, adventure part of it, but also, I don't know about you, but I know for me, I've learnt, especially now going down this diagnosis path and especially being medicated and
Mhm.
just understanding myself so much more, the stability and the structure is actually better for me than the
Yeah.
all over the shop.
I've honestly, I've only just learnt it for the first time in my life this 6 months. The last 6 months, I'm learning, like, how to actually do routine. Yeah.
Does it still
It
feel unnatural to you?
it feels really yeah, very
Yeah.
unnatural.
It was such a
Um,
big chunk of time that you were like, just going with
I
the
was just always
flow.
like,
Yeah.
like, I would, like it was like for me, it was a flex that I would never check where I was working the night before. And, like, I would just wake up and look at my phone to see my schedule and go,
Oh,
"Oh,
wow.
okay, cool." Like, I used to really enjoy not knowing where I was gonna end up as long as I woke up 2 hours before my before my shift. I kind of, like I constantly lived in this chaos, which was fun, but the point being when it came down to having a family, like, that just doesn't work. Absolutely fried myself completely into a mental burnout, uh, like, having that mentality. As when I started to have kids, it all fell apart, like, it's fine when it's just me because I can just, like, live in the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I had to really reassess everything when I had the kids because it was just I couldn't figure out, like, I didn't know how to have a like, plan ahead and have, like, a routine and stuff. So, yeah, now I have it. I'm like, "Oh, this I like this. This is cool. I
Oh,
know
this
where I'm
is
going
wonderful.
tomorrow, what time I have to wake up." Every day is, like, the same. It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
cortisol levels have come down and
That's the thing, right? I'm glad that
yeah.
you mentioned that. And you've switched careers, which we'll come back to in a minute as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Um, I'm glad you mentioned the cortisol levels because I've definitely noticed even before meeting Brad, every relationship was drama. Like, I
Mm.
had friends groups that were always going on. Like, there was always
Mhm.
just like I would have car accidents and there'd be this and there'd be that and I'd
Oh.
injure myself. Like, it was just I don't know how to describe it, but it was like I was chasing that dopamine hit
Mhm.
unresourcefully through
Yeah.
creating drama or like losing my keys, losing my phone, just
Every
constantly.
single every day at work, it was a running joke. "Okay, we're gonna go. Time to go home. Let's find Karina's keys. Let's find blah, blah, blah." They would just show up to work, be like, "Hi, what's up, everyone?" Bang, bang, and then I'm like, the end of the day comes, I'm like, "Fuck, I have no idea where all my shit is," and I'd have to walk around the entire warehouse looking for all my shit. Oh, man.
Honestly, it's
It's
such a
crazy,
relatable
like
thing.
yeah, yeah.
It's
And
thank you
I
for
still
sharing.
do it. I'm a little bit less bad. I have, like, air tags on all my stuff
Yes.
because
I
then
usually
before
have
I leave
my
the
Apple
house
Watch on. Yep.
yeah,
I
and then I have
usually
to beep all my stuff before I
where
leave.
is Find My, like, everything's Find My.
Everything
Um,
is fine, though.
but we gotta find the tools that work, right? I was just chatting with my mate yesterday who I was lucky enough to have on the podcast as well. And similar story, like having just doing what works for our brains, like rather than shaming ourselves for it or feeling like shit about
Yeah.
needing to have whatever that tool or resource is to find stuff because it's
Just
such a
to take
common
the stress
experience.
away, because it's just
Yes.
another, like, peak of, like,
Uh,
before especially trying to, like, wrangle the kids, because now I leave work for work, so 6:30 in the morning, we're all out of the house. I just
do you
need,
want to
like
share with the listeners what you do now for work?
I just started my, electrician apprenticeship.
We love a lady tradie. We love a
Yeah.
lady tradie.
There's so many cool,
Yay.
like tradie women on TikTok. So like,
Oh,
it's,
cool.
it's pretty good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And there'd be, I mean, I'm just kind of reading between the lines here. There'd be
Mhm.
some of the elements of like the types of people, or slightly different, I guess, in the music industry, but the types of people that you all come together for a job, they all have to work together cohesively. Like you need to be on the
Yeah.
ball, safety, all of the stuff, like some of those
The
transferable
tasks and the
skills.
people aren't the same. The people in the
People are
entertainment
different.
industry are a bit like we're all a bit crazy.
A
So
bit.
they're a special breed. They're like, I'll hold them very special. We've got to be a bit crazy to do that stuff. But the tasks itself, like the actual environment, is very like similar, but more like structured, I guess, less like wild, but like kind of it's a very similar task. So it's kind of like a sidestep instead of just complete change, which I like that I can use my skills from the last 20 years. Like I can actually apply them to the new job, which I really like that. Yeah.
That's so sick. And then behind you, I've got such a blank, plain wall at my mum. I'm like, behind you. Oh, mine's just white. But behind you, you've got a really cool example of some of your amazing artwork because this is the other side of Kareena.
Well, my
It's not the
amazing
tradie.
artwork that I have, I just don't finish, like, because I got bored. It's like the unfinished task. Like, I got this on artwork that's just like, oh yeah, that's boring. I'm over that. Not finished. I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but
Oh,
like all the
well,
trees, like the little trees, you probably can't see them.
I
Like the
can see a few little trees. Yeah.
there's supposed to be way more trees, but I just
There's been a recent bushfire. Just leave it as it is.
yeah, that's gonna be like that.
But you've got another thing. Was it just before you started your apprenticeship? I'm trying to time's not. I'm not very good with numbers and time and stuff.
Mhm.
How long before your apprenticeship did you launch your own business? Because there was a lot going on. You've got your own business. I'm going to link it for
Sorry,
anyone
I'm so
that's
sorry if I talk
interested.
into my microphone.
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
did. I couldn't hear you. It must have like
Okay, cool.
blocked it out. And I
Okay,
can always,
perfect.
I think, same with these, if it's a loud, sharp noise, it blocks it or it like
Oh,
dulls
cool.
it out or
Okay.
something. So I
Right.
can't hear it when you cough. You're all good. And we're human. We're allowed to be sick and we're
Yeah.
allowed to have like
Yeah.
coughs and
That's
stuff. It's fine.
reality, yeah.
Yeah, it's real life. Um, what was I just saying?
Yeah,
Yeah. So the timeline.
yeah, that's kind of well, I was kind of trying to start something, I guess, on my maternity leave with the second baby. I guess I was looking for something else. I was trying I think I don't want to say it was money. I was trying to have like a side hustle because winters are quite long in Canada and my old job is like quite seasonal. And so everyone's kind of fighting for scraps in the winter. So I just I wanted to try and build something that I could have for myself that I wasn't just relying on somebody else for. Yeah, but that kind of when I really decided, I was like, fuck it, I'm really gonna actually do it instead of just thinking about it. I'd been thinking about it for a long time. That was that coincided with right before like I had a massive burnout. So yeah, I just because I hyper focused really intensely on that. And that was like a yeah, mental that's one of the things that I realized I had a problem with was the hyper focus. It could really kind of affect uh my like normal life outside what I'm focusing on. It
Tell me more
really
about that.
yeah,
I might
so
learn
when
something about myself here because I'm a hyper focused queen.
yeah, the high if it's something that I'm really into, um, yeah, like for I mean, it was a hustle to get a website, as you would know.
Yeah,
All the getting a website and all that stuff is a hustle to
a
learn how
lot.
to do it and then actually implement it. And
There's
you,
so
yeah,
much. Like,
yeah, there's so much, and then you find what you figure one thing out, and then there's a whole nother opens a door to a whole nother thing you gotta figure out. And so yeah, at the time before I got diagnosed, this is what I wanted to do, but it kind of I was always my mind was always on that. Even if I was, like, in the room eating dinner, my mind was like, "Dugga, dugga, dugga, dugga," like, I was not, uh, present, I guess, like, even Seb said, like, "You're you're not here, like, I don't like this version because you've changed since you wanted to create this business," which he wasn't against, he was all supportive and stuff, but it was like it was a change in me. I think because but I was also processing a lot with my having to quit my job, and I would put a lot of pressure on myself to make this work, while then sort of having to let go of my career and big, like, firestorm, and then I just couldn't really, maintain, like, what I needed to do, like, in the house, I guess, like, like, the laundry and stuff, and, like, it would just it would stay folded, sort of, sometimes, like, it just all the other everything else kinda takes a back burner because I was
Yeah.
so, like, hyper focused on that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
then it was just a massive burnout because I couldn't prioritize, I couldn't separate tasks. It was just like, yeah, tunnel vision on that. So, then yeah, it all just came kinda crashing down, and that's when I kind of started to realize that my brain was not like it didn't feel right, and because you had, posted about your journey, I kinda always thought, like, maybe because like, we would always joke about, like, I would leave stuff behind, I would forget stuff, I'd leave all the kitchen cupboards open, and Seb's always like like, when I cook in the kitchen, like, it's just chaos, like, every, like, aspect, it was kind of a joke, but then I kinda started to realize, like, actually, maybe these are, like, symptoms of ADHD, I guess. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was I gonna say?
So,
So
yeah, I
that
was just
that
saying,
was
yeah.
like so it all kind of came to a head.
Yeah, yeah, and I was like, we can't obviously can't go on like that anymore." And because on top, the reason why my previous career was, is because there was no schedule, there was no routine. It was like every day was different, every week was different, and, like, I was finding it really hard to, maintain, like, where sometimes I would just, like, show up to the wrong shift, show up to the doctor's, like, a day early or, like, a week early, the wrong like, even when we were trying to organize this, like, I thought it was last week because I just, like,
Well, we had
felt that yeah.
originally, to be fair, we had originally said, I think last weekend's date when we were originally chatting, so that you probably had that in your mind. And
Yeah,
then
it's
when you
always like
sent
that
the
though, yeah.
yeah, and also thank you for sharing that as well. I
Mm,
think it's important also, and the reason I'm saying this is also as a reminder to myself, and I said it to you in the message as well, that we need to be kind to ourselves as we're navigating this, right? Because the
mhm,
world's freaking busy and heavy. Like, let's be honest,
mhm.
ADHD is see, hear, feel, smell, taste. I don't know if there's any other senses.
Yeah,
Like,
all the ones you
we
can see, yeah.
we experience the world in such a vibrant way and at like level
Mhm,
1,000, and we don't have a way to turn that down. We don't have a volume control or a brightness control out in the world or a
mm.
and so it's already a lot to be navigating all of that. And then we've got the internal stuff that just doesn't stop. Like for me, this just very rarely stops. It's just
That's
constantly ping, 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 ping.
there's like a questionnaire that you fill out before you get diagnosed, and I still remember the main question that sticks in my mind was like, does it feel like your brain is being run by a machine or something? Or like, I don't know, like, does it feel like what was it? Does it feel like your mind is being run by like, I don't know what the question was, but like, it just feels like it's been run by a machine. Doesn't feel like it's in my control sometimes. It's like being
Yes.
driven by an engine kind of thing. Like it's always in
It's
that high
constantly
gear.
whirring. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
1,000 RPM. Like, it's like
Yeah.
you're
You're
Um,
driving along on a highway in second gear, kind of feels like,
yeah, exactly.
if that makes
Your
sense.
body's like the I get what you're saying. I don't know if this is what you're explaining, but I think I've experienced this as well. It's like your brain is the freeway, but your body and the rest of the world is like a side street that you can only do 40 on or something. Like
Yeah, yeah,
and it's so hard to sometimes fine tune or pick a thought
yeah.
or block out. And again, we're trying to block out all of the other or dull it down or not tune into it or whatever's going on. Like even other noise, like for me, I think that's why music has been such a big part of my life because
Mhm.
been a way for me to focus on something good and shush the brain for a little bit. Like, yes, get into the beats and everything else just falls away. Like
I
the
always have to have
thoughts.
noise hat on, like, so annoying, like, well, not for me, it's for Seb, it's annoying because I walk around with my podcast, and he's like, "Fuck, turn it off." But I constantly just need to have this little "choop choop" in my ear, and then it just makes me like, "Ah," like, or whether it's podcast or music or something, but it's always something, like, it's rarely just quiet, like, yeah.
And is that
Even when I
for
was
the same reason, like to have something to focus on to keep the brain
I feel
kind of
like that.
shushed a bit, maybe?
It calms me down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know why, but and when it's not there, I'm like, "Oh, I need that." It's like is it like a stim? Is
Yes,
that what
dim.
they call it? I don't know. It's not like a physical, like, me doing it, but it feels like that. And, like, I remember in high school, like, I just wanted music on while I studied,
Yep.
and mom was like, "No, you can't have music on," like, it was because she was, like, being strict, like, "You gotta study, you can't have music, it will distract you," and I said, like, I couldn't. I would just look at the page, like,
Reading the same
and,
thing
like,
over and
try
over
and
again.
reread the page, like, 2 or 3 times trying to get it. But for me, like, I have to have when I'm doing complex tasks, I have to have, music
Yes,
to
audio stim.
concentrate.
I didn't even
Yeah, it's
realize it's an
audio.
audio stim
Yeah, it feels
because
like an audio stim.
I think it
Yeah.
is. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I've actually
Yeah.
never put that two and two together because when I write, like creative writing, or if I'm trying to write a piece that I need to be really focused on, I'll have, I mean, quite often it's just like, I don't know, some hippie shit, like some relaxation music, like whale sounds or something, like just so that I don't get caught in the lyrics and then type what's in the lyrics or something. Um,
Yeah.
but for sometimes though, I have to have silence, which is weird, but I'm wondering if that's because I'm ADHD. So I'm
Yeah,
wondering
yeah,
if
yeah.
the autistic
Yeah.
side of me is like, shut the fuck up. I need quiet.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's probably what's going on there. But Brad always needs to have noise. He needs to have either
Yeah.
the TV going or music on, or there
Yeah.
needs to be some sort of stim. I'm going to tell him,
Yeah.
you're doing the audio stim, my friend. You're doing the audio
Was
stim.
he diagnosed?
No, no,
Oh,
but
no,
there's a
okay.
lot of
Maybe it's just a human thing, so it's hard to, like
yeah, I know
it's
that's a
hard
thing,
to
right? There's
pinpoint if
so
that's
many
just
common threads, isn't
yeah.
there? Like with and I mean there's like yeah, I think as well because some people can have spent their entire lives finding ways to deal with life,
Yeah.
not knowing that they're neurodivergent, not realizing they are because that's just how I am. And so some people will probably go their entire lives and never know because
Well, that was, like,
they
the
won't
thing that I
question it.
wasn't yeah, exactly. Because that's the sorry to cut you off,
No, you're
like,
okay.
that's the
I
thing.
I do that all the time.
I'm ready to
Hello,
leave.
ADHD. ADHD. No, go.
I'm sorry, I'm a high
No,
moment
you're
right
fine.
now,
No, you're okay.
though. But what was I gonna say? What are you talking about?
We were
Oh,
talking about, I do this as well. See? When my brain goes, boom, and then it's on to the next thing. We were talking about, oh my God, I feel like I need a pause. What? I love
I
this.
don't think we should edit any of this. This feels like so
No,
this
because
is
this
how
is
my
so
brain works because
relatable.
it's
This
so
is so
real, like, yeah.
I've even been in the middle of
Oh,
coaching
yeah.
someone. No, go, quick, while you've got it.
sometimes it's like I feel like imposter syndrome because I'm like, is this a normal person thing that I'm experiencing, or is this an ADHD symptom thing? 'Cause like that's a big thing when I was before I got diagnosed. I'm like, oh, it's because everyone seems to be getting diagnosed with ADHD. Like when you look on social media and stuff, I was like, is everything a symptom, or is this a the normal person have these little things as well? Like I was finding that hard to navigate because I didn't want to just like self-diagnose myself when there are actually people really struggling out there with it. I was like trying to battle with like, is it me? Is it social media, or is it actually real? Yeah, it took me a really long time to go like convince myself, or like I'd I don't know, take the diagnosis. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Seriously,
Like,
it does.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I
I
felt
talked
bad. I kind of felt guilty. Like, am I just trying to
same.
I'm not trying to get sympathy. Am I just trying to make excuses for like why I'm like this? Is this
Yeah,
just an
it's
excuse for
called
me?
internalized ableism because we're being
Oh,
told,
right.
yeah, it's like
Never
a
heard
real
that.
thing. I am still experiencing it this to the experiencing some of this to this day. I saw something there because I'm in quite a few ADHD support groups and late
Okay.
diagnosed women with ADHD and blah blah blah. Blah. Not support groups, but just like groups where people just share their experience. Like, does anyone else experience this, or what
Yeah.
happened? Has anyone found something that helps with this, and just sharing tips and hints and life with each other. And someone a chick shared on there this meme, and it was like, when I have my medication, I convince myself I don't have ADHD, and then I stop taking it, and then I remember I do. I was like, that actually sounds quite familiar because I do the I do the same thing. I'm like, no, 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 I'm good. I'm fine. There's nothing like I'm like I can do this. I can do this. And then maybe a couple of days will go past or a few days will go past, and I've gone back to, and I'm not saying medication's a be all and end all because it's not for everyone, and I'm not
Mhm.
saying it's a
Yeah.
magic solution because it's not a magic solution, that you
No.
still got to do the work and
It's like a
get
tool, yeah.
it's a tool, yeah, but you
Mhm.
also still have to do the work behind all of that. But I
And like
have
I say the
noticed,
same thing with all
yeah,
medication, whether it's for anxiety
100.
and depression as well. Like it's a tool, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I would love to get to a point one day to not take medication personally. That would be my absolute
Yeah.
ultimate, would be to not take that and to find a way to work with my brain that doesn't require medication. But at the moment, at this stage in life, and with the
Mhm.
constant change of full-time travel, because we're still in our van, like at the moment, we're not
Yeah.
back in our house. So there's still
Yeah.
constant change. And
Yeah.
I find that just all of like life and the busyness of having my own business and not just doing one thing in my business, but doing many things. And then obviously, why wouldn't you start a podcast while you're
Yeah.
traveling Australia and while you're, similar to what you shared about your business, why wouldn't you? But
Yeah.
I think I noticed the other day, I think it was day 2 or day 3 of not taking medication. And Brad was like, babe, just a quick question. Have you have you taken your tablet today? And I was like, no, why? And he goes, do you think maybe you should?
It sounds
I'm
like
just curious
It
whether it
sounds
might
like
help
Brad
you.
is way nicer to you about it than Seb is to me. Seb's like, "Did you take your pill?" "Oh, no." He's
But you
not
can you
he's
can
not
tell,
yeah.
hey, like,
Yeah.
what's the experience like for you? Do you find scattered, stress? Like, what's the difference for you if you don't take it?
Definitely like, "Ah, ah," like,
Mm.
uh, yeah, way more like, I don't know, like, yeah, that I can only just describe it by doing that action, like,
And then you don't actually start anything because you're like, I can't do
yeah,
that
and it's
until I've
just
done
like,
that. And I've known that I've got to do that first. And then I got that. And then what about
and then
that?
my, like, I think my thoughts come out weird. Is like, "Why are you thinking like that?" Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Same.
like my thoughts are 5 steps ahead of what's happening, I think, yeah. I don't know.
I
But
also
yeah, what the big notice for when I did start was, just the quiet. It was just like,
Yeah.
I was
How
like,
weird is
"Oh."
that?
Yeah, it's so weird.
I remember when I was
To be fair, like, I'm not I wasn't sure if I was gonna say this, but I think it's kind of relevant. When I was, working at a festival once, I found a bottle of Dexies left on a stage in a purse, and I knew what it was, and I was like, "Oh, cool," because 'cause I'd had friends who had ADHD, and they'd given me some in high school, so I knew what it was. I don't know if I should say that. I should isn't it? Is that
That doesn't
bad?
matter. No, it doesn't
I
matter.
don't think so. Yeah. And and I was like, I thought I'd hit the jackpot, and I made this fucking bottle of Dexies. I rationed it out for, like, over a year. It must have been, like, 20 Dexies in there. But, like, when I would save it for, like, really complex, like, paperwork at work, or, like, when I really wanted to perfect a lighting system before I go on tour, and I needed to really concentrate, like, I didn't use it just to go to the bar and stay up all night
Yeah.
to party or anything. Like, I actually I used it the way it's kind of prescribed, even though it wasn't my prescription. So I kind of knew that it helped me. Like, I kind of already knew that it helped me. And so, like, yeah, and then I was yeah, I don't know why I said that,
Oh,
but yeah,
about
so
how it helps you. Yeah, when you don't
yeah,
take it, what you notice about yourself and stuff is just, like,
yeah, so
scattered.
I already kinda knew that that was, like, when I went to the doctor, I was like, "I feel like this stuff helps me." And it's yeah, I was kinda battling with, like, I don't wanna party on it, like, some people use it to party, but I don't want it for that. And even now, I still like, if I don't take it on the week sometimes I do, like, but I don't really care if I don't take it on the weekends. It's like when
'Cause you don't have to be, like, focused
on
as much
yeah,
and
like
stuff. Same
yeah.
here. I quite often take it on the weekend unless we've got to be, like, packing up that if we're packing
Yeah.
up our setup and we've got a plan and we know we're like, we have to be somewhere and da, 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 and,
Yeah.
like, really focus and think. But if we're just
Yeah.
chilling, I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
I don't
Totally.
have to be
Or if I forget
focused,
to take it, and
organized."
then it's like 10 because I take the slow release, if it's like 10 o'clock and I forget to take it, I'm just like, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna take it because I won't be able to sleep, like, easily tonight." Like, it's too late. I don't like to take it too late, so I just won't take it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I started on the slow release, and but they didn't quite agree with me, so I've switched over.
Yeah.
And when I first went down the assessment path, my intention wasn't even to go down the medication route. It was
Yeah.
purely just curiosity to understand myself. And I actually said to the lady that was doing my diagnosis, um, I don't think I don't think I should be on stimulant medication because I used to party a lot and I used to
Yeah.
do all of that stuff. And like, I don't want to be tempted with it, but to be honest, she was like, "How long's it been?" And I was like, "Well and truly over a decade." Like, it was longer than that since I'd been party
Yeah.
Amy. And she was like, "I don't think there's any risk." And she said, "Why don't we try it with the slow release one first?
Mhm.
See how you go with that." And I couldn't tolerate it. And she said, "How do you feel about going on Dexies, like the quick release?" And I was like, "Look,
Yeah.
can we just start on a really low dosage, like
Yeah, exactly same.
1 or 2 a day or whatever it was?" Um, and she was like, "Yep, let's do that, see how you go." And some days, like, everyone's like, "It's so addictive." I forget all the
Yeah,
time.
me
I
too.
forget all the
But
time.
then
Like, everyone's
sometimes
like, "They're so addictive at speed." I'm like, "Yeah, but literally, if it was addictive, like, when you need it,
yeah.
okay, not need it. When it works the way that it does with our brains,
Mhm.
it's different to how it works for people's brains that aren't prescribed it, that don't necessarily need
Exactly.
it."
That's kind of when I was convinced, like, I now accept it, is because now that I have got the prescription, I I'm I'm not addicted because I don't really care if I don't have it. And if, like I said, all those things, like, if I don't want it on the weekends and I don't like, I forget, and then sometimes I'm like, "Did I take it?"
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Oh, no, but I can't have 2 because then" next time,
Sleep.
"Remember if I even took it?" And I'm like, "Oh, man, okay, well, I guess I'm just not gonna take it because I don't know if I took it."
Yeah, I've seen in a few of those, ADHD ADHD groups that I was talking about, that people actually do themselves little Webster packs, you know, the Monday, Tuesday,
Oh,
Wednesday,
yes.
so that
That
they
makes
know that
sense.
they have, because
Mhm.
it's a real thing of like, did I?
Yeah, because I'm like, I
Because
gotta leave for work, and
ADHD.
I'm like, if I didn't take it, oh, well, fuck it, I gotta go to work, I have to not take it.
Hope for the
Hope
best.
I
But yeah, the internalized ableism, that's what we were talking about before as
Yes,
well.
yes,
So
yeah, exactly.
I've really struggled with um like this, similar to yourself. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to just people to think that I'm just jumping on this bandwagon that everyone's
Yeah.
like going down this
Mhm.
ADHD diagnosis path, da 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 da."
Yeah, because I haven't really told anyone. I told, like, my best friend. I told my 2 best friends and you. I
Oh
I didn't
wow.
even
No, you're
tell, like,
like,
I didn't tell my mom until, like, maybe 6 months after I got diagnosed. Like, yeah, I was really slow to tell people because I was still kinda like the
how did your family respond, if you don't mind me asking?
mom would say, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense."
You're like, cheers. Thanks for that.
Pretty much everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense." So, I was like, "Oh, that's cool, thanks." Because I was really nervous to, like, to say that out loud. I was like,
Yeah,
"I'm
I
gonna get
know.
diagnosed."
I
But
think
then,
if people understand what ADHD actually is and how debilitating it can actually be,
yeah.
and I think that's kind of to circle back on that point as well about, do I actually need to get help, or should I be, is this normal for people to be coping with this? And, am I just like, this is all the inner dialogue I've had as well. Like, is it
Yeah.
just that I can't fucking, am I making life more, making it out to be bigger than it is, and da da da. Like,
Mhm.
do I just need to try harder? Which is such a common thing that we've been told our whole life. Like, if you just try harder, if
Yeah.
you just put a bit more effort in. So all of that programming of, maybe I just need to try harder. Maybe, maybe it's just me not putting in the effort. And in actual fact, we're doing our brain a bit of a freaking disservice by saying
Yeah.
that, because we're actually wired differently. Like,
We
it's
are
not,
trying, like,
yeah.
we're double trying
Yeah,
in
and
a
that's
sense.
what my psych said to me in my
Oh, yeah.
assessment as well.
Hang on, my cable
Go,
just
go,
fell
go.
out. Oh, yeah, continue. There you go.
No, I was gonna say, I feel like I'm hijacking the convo, and I
No, no,
apologize.
no,
Um,
go.
so during my assessment, because I've always felt dumb, like especially with maths and stuff, I really struggled at school. I was in the lowest maths, and dyscalculia came out in my assessment. So that kind of was like, oh my God, that makes sense. Um, but she actually said to me, Amy, you mentioned a few times in your throughout your assessment and through her taking notes and stuff that you've always felt dumb. And she said, I just wanted to let you know you're actually highly intelligent. Like, you've actually had to do more than a lot of other people have done to do the same amount of work. So that, if anything, shows that level of intelligence. And I was like, oh my God.
That's amazing because I
Yeah,
can
it's,
relate to that a lot because
yeah.
I struggled in school a lot because I went through, like, quite a lot in school, went to quite a lot of funerals in the last 2 years of school. So I was already, like, feeling rebellious and pissed off at the world as it was. But this like the I've realized recently that I really struggle with reading. I think I mentioned that to you? I think about how
No.
I read, like, I read the first 2, like, sentences, and then I kinda get
Oh,
impatient,
yeah, you
and then
did.
I'll,
You
like,
did.
try and skim read, tick, 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 down the paragraph, and then read the last sentence, and then I still don't understand what it is, so then I'll go backwards and try and fill in a few more words. Like, I'm
You
trying
did
to find
tell
the
me
quickest way to
the
quickest way to read a
recipe,
paragraph. It's like tick, tick, tick,
recipes.
back up. Recipes, oh my god.
Hang on a sec. What have I done here? Oh shit. I was meant to have like um cooked that a little bit first before I did that. Whoopsies. Now we've got this, and we're just gonna have to
Trying to
work with
find
it.
the
Oops.
trying to find the shortest point from A to B to read, but it goes like digga 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 digga. Oh fuck! I should
Keep
have just
coming
read
back.
it.
That's right, because I told you that Brad calls me the shortcut queen, because I'm
Yeah.
always just trying to do them, like find the most efficient way to do things, like bring all of your groceries in at the same time from the car, even if you have to like almost break your back because you don't want to have to go back again to get it. Or just anything. And he just looks at me sometimes. He's like, "What are you
That's
doing?" I'm like,
not the easiest way, dude.
he's like, "Shortcut queen strikes again." She's trying to do the shortcut and it ends up taking her longer. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty common experience. So we're not alone.
But
And we're
then what was quite validating is, like, the same thing I was struggling in school. I almost didn't
oh
graduate.
yes, cool. Sorry.
I was so close to that, not graduating. I was like 1 or 2 percentage that I did. And so I felt dumb as well, or like I was like, "Oh, I'm not that smart." But then, a few years later, when I in my career, I wanted to do my rigging course because they make more money, and I actually like to do it as well. So I was interested in it, and when I did my course, this is maths as well, which I don't. I think I've also got a C in maths for sure, like in the low maths. But I found that because I was interested in what I was doing, I was actually able, like, all the equations that they gave on the training, I actually, like, mixed them, like, joined them all together and made, like, one my own equation. And I was like, "What?" Like, I made it's like one simple equation that kinda cuts all these other ones out, and
Oh
then
my
my
god. So
Who's
you
this?
basically so you're basically Sheldon off The Big Bang Theory. You
Yeah,
just
basically,
created a
yeah.
new equation.
But, like, I finished the exam, the first person to finish the exam, and it was like, tick, tick, 100%. I was like, "Oh." So, like,
That is
because
sick.
I was interested and I wanted it and I paid for it myself, I was smart. But, like, when it was someone just sitting, like, in the classroom and I didn't give a shit, it was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Good luck."
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting, and I found that as well, if it's something that I personally want, then I can excel, but if it's something that, yeah, I am forced to do, then I really struggle, yeah.
Nope. And the electrician, you need to use a lot of maths for that too.
Yep. Yeah, well, I'm still just the first year, so I haven't had to do big calculations, but it sort of applies for my last job as well, like the power calculations and stuff like that, so, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if I'm still
That's
Sheldon.
that's so sick. I love that you found a way to make it work and like not just make it work, but do it in your own way and absolutely ace it. That is so sick.
I just
Um,
think I realized that it has to be something I'm interested in.
yeah,
If it bores me, then
honestly,
there's no point. Yeah.
literally, I could make I even procrastinate clean, I procrastinate cook, I procrastinate exercise, I procrastinate anything that I can think of under the sun that still feels like I'm doing something to not do the thing if it's something that doesn't interest me or it's boring, or I feel like it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's something I'm interested in, like today, hyper focused, locked in after I'd been gardening with mum and edited like a heap of a previous podcast. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just lost time. Like I lost, it's like
Yeah.
you go into this vortex of like
Yeah.
flow and time doesn't exist there and you can just lock
Mhm.
in. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, I know that, like, I'm just really full of time, but I just wanted to ask one more
Okay.
thing before we go into the closeout segment, which I'm super excited
Okay.
about. But I just wanted to quickly touch on, and we can always do another catch up at some point if there's more that you want
Yeah.
to add and stuff as well.
Mhm.
Um, has g- motherhood, do you think motherhood, I know that you said needing to bring this structure and like teach yourself a different
Mm.
way. Do you think motherhood for you has amplified or like amplified your ADHD traits? How has motherhood impacted your flavor of ADHD?
Yeah, it really I felt, like, exposed. I felt totally exposed, if that makes sense. Yeah, when because actually when I had my first kid, and then I went to get I was like, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD for sure. But then I went to the doctor and I was like, "I would like to get tested. Like, let's do this. Like, I'm pretty sure." But then she gave me the form and she said, "Go fill this out. Seb needs to fill this out, and then we'll come back to me." And I took it home, and then I lost the form, and I never did anything about it.
I think that's such a common thing as well. Oh.
And so then, like, I was like, "Oh, well, I'll just keep going along." And then after my second, and then I full crash burnout 'cause, my doctor was trying to decide whether it was just anxiety or if it was ADHD because the 2 can kind of symptoms can overlap. And, I was like, "I think the ADHD is causing the anxiety." I was,
Yeah.
like, pretty aware 'cause I'd been medicated for anxiety and depression a couple of times, like, in my 20s, but then I just felt like I said, exposed when I had kids that I was just a mess. Like, I was just living in chaos all the time, and that doesn't work when you have kids. They deserve better than that, um, because if it's always rush, it's always chaos, it's always high, cortisol, that is stressful for them as well, and it reminded me of my childhood. My mum was always I think she was always overstimulated. I don't know if she has it, I'm not sure, I think maybe, who knows, but, like, always overstimulated, always on cortisol, then, it makes you short-tempered and impatient and all that sort of stuff, and so, I didn't wanna bring that into my house. Like, I really don't I try not to. I'm not perfect, obviously, but I didn't want that for my family. And so it was noticeable that, like, yeah, all the like, I really struggle with the washing, 'cause I hate that the most, and the folding. Like, you see I got a pool table, it's still got clothes on it, but I'm better than what I was, I
Yeah.
think.
That's good.
I'm able to, like, yeah, assign tasks and get them done now because I'm more aware. And like the psych that I talked to gave me tips. I wanted to mention that is because I was getting super overwhelmed with planning. And then I know that as a mother, mothers get overwhelmed with the mental load they call it as well. Um, but it was really difficult for me to plan all the meals, plan the shopping, plan like make sure all the clothes are done. Like, and without drowning, like, I really felt like I was drowning as well because yeah, because you can't prioritize, I feel like. And then, once I had the medication, I really felt like I was just more on top of it, it was less overwhelming, and, like, the hyper focus wouldn't suck me in, like, I was able to be, "Okay, stop," like, switch focus, like,
Come
I was
back to
able
what
to.
you're doing.
And the fact that, like, you take to take some of the stress away. For example, always Mondays is always burger night, Sundays is always pasta night, Tuesdays taco night. So those 3 things you don't have to worry about. You just have to, like, you come home, that's what it's always gonna be. You're not constantly in decision mode. I found stuff
Decision
like that, and so
paralysis.
yeah, decision
Yeah.
paralysis, um, so yeah, just had taking that's all the stuff, like the routine, the schedules, like consistency, I never did that in my whole life. So I had
Yeah.
to learn all that, and the psych really helped me with, like, stuff like that. So, like, Sundays nights, always, like, preparing for the week, just so I don't have to think about it. I'm like, "Well, that's what it is." It's not like yeah, just flying with the wind anymore. So,
Thank you for sharing that as well, because I'm
yeah.
sure that'll help someone else that's listening. And I've even said, I've heard myself saying before, like, even with planning to get from A to B, um, like for some people, it's really easy and obvious, and you know that you need to leave a little bit earlier to allow for if there's traffic or if there's a la 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 la. But it's not easy and obvious to everyone, and especially not to people with that have time blindness like ADHD is,
Mm,
and have, the prefrontal cortex and that executive, um, the executive decision making sort of side of things. I'm
mhm,
having a mental blank of what the word even is. Executive functioning, that's it.
mhm,
Like that part of our brain that makes all the decisions, the planning, that does the boss of our brain doesn't work the same as other people. So what feels
mhm.
easy to other people, planning, organization, prioritizing, all of those things that you've mentioned, it doesn't come easy to us and it's not natural. So we do need to
Yeah,
actually consciously think of ways that we can do it that might seem obvious to other people and not shame ourselves about needing to talk it through or plan it
yeah,
out with someone or use strategies that might seem obvious to other people. and then
Absolutely.
implementing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually started even because I finish work at 2 p.m., so I have some time before I pick up my kids, and I've recently started dedicating, like, Monday to art, Tuesdays life maintenance, Wednesdays the gym, because I've got so many ideas. It's like bing, 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 bing. I can choose anything and get sucked into anything, and then it's just I get nowhere. But I have to
Yeah.
actually get stuff done. I can't always choose the thing that I wanna the dopamine hit of what I wanna do because I would just
Because you've
be,
got
fucking hyperfocused
responsibilities.
painting a wall. Like, I gotta do my taxes.
Yes. I love that you mentioned that. Oh, thank you so much. We're going to wrap things up with a
Okay,
segment
cool.
that I've called Tangent Time.
Okay.
So this is just a few rapid fire questions and you just answer with whatever comes up first. Are you ready?
Uh, hang on.
It's not hard. It's like they're fun. They're not like hard
Go.
questions. You come home and there are dishes in the sink. What do you do?
Come back later.
Love it. Inside or outside?
Outside.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I already know the answer to the next one as well, but noisy or quiet?
So noisy.
Yep. If you
Rarely quiet. Rarely quiet.
Yeah, yeah. If you were a snack, what would you be?
An M&M caramel. Have you tried them?
Yum.
They're
No,
so
but I want
good.
to.
Yeah,
My
they're good.
favorite are M&M peanut butter. I
Oh,
discovered
okay.
those when I was in Canada. Love them.
I've just discovered the caramel.
I'm gonna have to try them. I'll
Yeah.
put that on my list.
Happy.
And then the last question is, what is currently living in your head rent free?
Mm. Like, I always replay, situations that I could have handled better. Yeah, I'm always, like, spinning. I was like, "Fuck, I wish I didn't say it like that," or, "I wish I didn't do it like that." So I'm always constantly trying to process little tidbit, and it's weird because, like, I had this one situation that happened, and I it was looping a little bit, and then I reached out to the guy, and I said, "Sorry, I wasn't very nice that day to you," and he was like, "Oh, I can't even remember that. I don't know what you're talking about." So often I'm like, I have these little loops of, that wasn't cool. I wish I wasn't like that, or yeah. So
I Yeah.
generally,
Thank you for sharing that. I do the same thing. I was talking to my mate Mitch about that as well, that
yeah, yeah.
even stuff from years ago,
Years
like
ago, years
literally
old, yeah,
like things that are just people would not even, I'm sure, even give it another second thought, but it's still so relevant in your mind. And it's frustrating
yeah.
because it does loop. And it's like this thing that if you can't close it for any reason, or if there's, and we add so much weight and layers, and it's a really tricky thing to break out of.
It's like
What
a
do
loop
you
of cringe. Yeah.
Yeah, loop of cringe, that's such a good
Mhm.
explanation. How do you break out of that loop of cringe, just in case anyone else is listening that this could help as well?
Oh, if I still know if it's something with a person, I can often I'm not scared to reach out. Um, I don't know if I've found a way to fix that. I think it's just I do art. I process a lot of that stuff when I'm doing my art.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I kind of loop the same things. The same stuff starts coming back, but then I just feel like I'm processing it and come to a place of forgiveness, I think. And then just acknowledging it, I think is really to be self-aware is super important. Like no one's perfect, you got to reflect on that stuff because yeah, so you don't do it again. And then yeah, just try do better, be better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
so
just
important.
self-acknowledging it, yeah. Acknowledging it is a big one.
And I think this actually plays into RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria, like the looping of
Yeah.
the I've fucked up or I've done something wrong and I'm feeling shame. Like why would they, it's like almost rejecting yourself and feeling like
Mhm.
they think negatively about you. And something like calling it out is such a important thing that you've just mentioned there. Calling it out and then also finding a way that you can calm your nervous system and come back to center and process it so that you can keep moving forwards.
Yeah.
I'm a verbal processor. Go figure.
Yeah.
Verbal. Hello. So Brad is my sounding board for a lot of things, and one of my other besties, Haley, she's beautiful. She lets me sort of verbally process and talk things through, and sometimes talk me down a little bit off the ledge if she's like, what are you, that's not even like a thing, that's you, like,
Yeah.
you've made it this huge, like, let's talk it through, like, what are some of the things that are going on, and da da da, and she just helps me to break it down into like a more manageable thing rather than this big thing that
Yeah.
I've potentially made it in my mind. So that's really helpful for me as well, verbal processing. But I think it's finding our thing, right? Not everyone has art, not everyone has someone they can talk to, but find your thing and your way of
Yeah.
processing it.
Definitely, because I mean, in Canada, like, there's a big, huge language barrier, I find, because I live in Quebec. So finding Seb is definitely my sounding board. Uh, and yeah, just I haven't, like, had that click with people with a crazy background such as myself. I haven't found, like, the same kind of person that, I can express a lot of that to, like, so, yeah, I think that my art helps me with that. It's like my therapy because I don't have a lot of other people unless I suck at FaceTiming people and all that stuff, so I'm much a big texter,
Yeah.
but yeah,
You can
so
text me anytime. I've
oh,
recently found as well, voice to text works for me sometimes. I forget it even exists a lot of the time.
yeah,
But because of the verbal processing thing, and so because
yeah,
sometimes I get frustrated that texting takes too long, shortcut queen. So
yeah,
vo
yeah.
voice messages or, like, voice to text. Yeah, but honestly, reach out to me anytime because I miss you
Oh,
so
thanks.
much, and I love
I
chatting with you.
will, yeah. Oh,
And
that's so cool.
I so have loved this chat, and I've so appreciate your
Same.
time, and
Yeah, it feels so validating. I feel like, "Oh, actually, cool, like, someone
someone
gets
gets
me."
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I get you.
Mhm.
I think we've
The
always
first
clicked.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
we
Well,
always sleep. We're always laughing on the couch somewhere else. Just laughing at
watching the world around us, just like, what? Yeah, so
Yeah,
good. Oh,
yeah.
well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Say hi to Seb
Oh,
for me, and
I will, yeah.
enjoy your day with the girls. Hope you're feeling better soon. And we'll definitely, I think, if you're up for it, I'd love to do this again sometime. Maybe
Sure.
reconnect, see where we're at,
Yeah.
do a part two. Because there's so,
Mhm.
like, we've really only scratched the surface, I think,
Yeah, I
of
feel like we could
so
just
many
keep
things.
talking for another hour. Yeah, it's crazy,
Days.
right? I was so nervous. I was like, "Oh, I gotta write down." I didn't even look at my notes. I was like, "What
I
am
know.
I gonna say?" Yeah,
I have it
but
like
yeah.
a couple of times I glanced over, but yeah, for the
Yeah,
most part, I haven't, because I think that's
perfect.
better anyway. Just have a convo.
Yeah, it's perfect. Thanks, that was really fun. I
Oh,
It's
yay.
brightened my day already. I really enjoyed
Oh,
it.
I love it. Same here. It's brightened my night. I'm about to go. I got to wind myself down now because I always get so energized from these
Excited, yeah.
conversations that I've got to go take my melatonin tablet and just
Oh, yeah.
let the brain relax.
L-theanine, have you tried L-theanine?
No, I have heard
Oh,
about
that's
it.
so good for my zen, like, in the afternoon, because instead of having a coffee, or I can still have a coffee, but, like, uh, it really helps to cut the edge of like, sometimes the medication feels if I take it too late, it can feel a bit choppy at the end,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially when I'm overstimulated with the kids. L-theanine's really helped just, like, cruise me into the evening, like, I really like it, so, yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
Oh,
You're not the first person to mention it to me, but
yeah.
I just haven't
I
gone down. I've written it in my little notes
Yeah.
here to follow that, to check into it.
Okay, cool. Love
Thank you.
you.
Love you too. We'll chat soon.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in. I trust that you got some value from this conversation today. If there was something in this conversation that you think would help someone else, please share it with them. Feel free to check out at The Wise Owl Coach. I'll also link below. Bye for now.